this thing rolling? Yeah. Alright. So we have a lot to talk about, you guys. First of all, I just have to say special shout out to the whole ESPN team, bro. The first 2 episodes of that 10-part documentary, y'all, The Last Dance, was absolutely phenomenal. I was watching with my dad, and I told him right after that, I could just binge watch this for the rest of the night. It was absolutely amazing. The worst part were the commercial breaks. Like, I literally loved every single second of it, y'all. It was so fascinating, so many stories. But it really started out... I thought a good other title for this documentary would have been just Jerry Krause. I mean, it literally just the entire first part of episode 1 was just roasting Jerry Krause. You had Jordan roasting him about his diet pills, and it was very clear that Krause was very jealous of Phil Jackson, of Michael Jordan, of the entire Bulls team. He went on TV and said that it was an organization that won it, not the players, and this is obviously after the 1997 finals when they won their 5th championship. It was just an unreal story, y'all. He just has a really weird look to him. Everyone was calling him Los Polos. But yeah, so after they showed the beginning of that part, they went back to Michael Jordan in college, playing for UNC, having that game winner in the what year was that? The 81 National Championship in his freshman year. That was really something to see. I was really impressed by that, y'all. Then they obviously showed the beginning parts of his rookie year. 3rd in the draft, which I totally forgot about, that Clyde and Hakeem were drafted before him. First year of his career, y'all. Really, really solid year. And it was really interesting to see the Bulls, you know what I'm saying, how, like, irrelevant they were in the city of Chicago. Like, obviously the Bears were huge in the 80s with Walter Payton. The Red Sox and the Cubs were really big. And then what was the name of their... I forget the name, the Chicago Sky or something like that. Their indoor soccer team was really hype, y'all. But yeah, then they went to ring night of the October of 1997. Jerry Krause got a huge boo. Before we continue this video, I just want to let you guys know, no matter who you are, no matter where you're watching, I believe in you. I believe in your dreams, I believe in your passion, and I believe in your instincts. I believe in you and your journey to greatness. If you want to help my journey to greatness, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me, and thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of this video. Phil Jackson got a lot of love, Jordan got a lot of love, and then Scottie Pippen actually didn't play because he had surgery right before the season started, as opposed to having surgery right after the 97 season, which we'll get into a little bit later. Episode 2, which we'll talk about right now, the Star talked all about Scottie Pippen. I did not know this about Scottie Pippen, y'all. In 1991, he signed a 7-year deal with the Chicago Bulls for $18 million. And the toughest part was after that 1991 season, just a few years after that is when the NBA started to get a huge, huge global popularity. We even saw at the beginning of the first episode, the Bulls in Paris, y'all, were literally like the Beatles back in like the 60s. I mean, it was unreal. The streets were filled. It was surreal. So it just really hurt me to see that, though, yo. During that span, Scottie Pippen was 122nd highest paid player in the NBA. In my opinion, during that era, especially like the 95 to 98 span, Scottie Pippen, in my opinion, was a top 5 player in the league. Imagine someone right now, like, we'll say Anthony Davis. That's a good example. Imagine if Anthony Davis was 122nd highest paid NBA player right now, y'all. Imagine that. Imagine that right now. So I personally felt really bad for Scottie Pippen. They talked a bit about Scottie Pippen's life and his journey. His father actually had a stroke when he was only 12 years old. Shortly after that, his best friend who lived with Scottie's family was, I forget what they said. It was either a stroke or something else, but both his best friend who lived with him and his dad were in a wheelchair for a large majority of Scottie Pippen's childhood, which was just surreal, y'all. Scottie then went to the University of Central Arkansas, which he played really well yet. He actually was at the start of his freshman year, y'all, just the equipment manager on the team, and then tried out and had an amazing career there, became the 5th overall draft pick, got drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, and then on draft night, he found out from a reporter asking him a question that he was then traded to the Chicago Bulls in '87. And then it talked a little bit about Jordan going up against, you know what I'm saying, the Boston Celtics in the 87 playoffs, which, fam, was amazing. Was surreal. They talked about him, you know what I'm saying, that year also breaking his foot. How he asked the Bulls to go back to college, to go back to UNC, to just chill and train. Well, what the Bulls didn't know, was that he was playing 5v5. And he got back to the Bulls. And the doctor came back and said that if you come back this year, there's a 10% chance that if you get injured, you will not play for the rest of your career. Your career will be done. And Jordan was talking everyone was just talking about the negatives. There's a 90% chance that doesn't happen. So Jerry Krause, yes, Jerry Krause, you see a relative theme throughout this entire video. Jerry Krause told the coach that he gets a maximum of 7 minutes each half throughout the rest of the year. Final game of the season, Bulls only have 29 wins. They play the Milwaukee Bucks, and freaking Jerry Krause comes down with like 30 seconds to go in the game. They're down by 1 and says, "You better not play Jordan in that game." Who was the name of their coach back then, yo? I have a brain fart right now. It was Staubach. Jordan was like, "F these guys, put me in the game, bro." He did not, because he was threatening his job if he did. And Paxson hit the game winner to send them to the playoffs. They then played the 67-win Boston Celtics, which it did end in a sweep, but Michael Jordan first game had 49. Then the next game after that scored his playoff career high 63 points, which was surreal, y'all. Larry Bird stated it as, what did he say? God disguised as Michael Jordan. So, I mean, fam, I was really impressed with the documentary, y'all. Outside of that, there really wasn't too much, but I thought it was really funny. It's Charles Oakley, out of nowhere, he's talking about Scottie Pippen. It was his rookie year, it was Scottie's rookie year in 87. And Oakley was just talking about how Scottie's doing all these things for the team since he's a rookie, that he just bitch slapped him out of nowhere mid-interview. I was talking to all my friends about it. My buddy Betty, he said it reminded him of when AD got slapped in the UK locker room. Well, I feel bad for Scott. I mean, he was just being bitched around by Charles Oakley. But overall, y'all, I was very impressed. What did upset me, though, was all the people taking shots at LeBron on Twitter. Like, LeBron was not even included in any of this. He was on one NBA commercial throughout the entire thing. And I'll just say this. I was impressed with the documentary. Jordan does look like an a-hole as a teammate, which we all kind of knew. I thought it was really funny after they beat the France national team, is that they went back to the locker room and Jordan was like, "Well, for all of y'all that never knew what winning was, this is a little taste of it." And they struggled without Pippen that started the 98 season, y'all. Y'all can't even cap about that. But it was a really good documentary, y'all. I was impressed. But as a LeBron fan, think of it like this. In the 87 season against the Boston Celtics, using LeBron haters' logic, it would have been a worse season if the Bulls beat the Celtics, beat whoever, and went to the NBA Finals that year and lost to the Los Angeles Lakers. That would have put his finals record when he retired, a decade plus later, to 6-1. So if he beat, if he beat the Celtics that year and advanced to the next round and lost in a later round, it would have been a worse season because it would have affected his finals record negatively. I'm just using y'all's logic for that. But overall, man, I was really impressed with this documentary. Shout out to the ESPN team, bro. That was an amazing documentary. I could binge watch that for literally hours. So finally, there's something to do in quarantine. You know what I'm saying? I bet the ratings for these will be off the roof. I'm really interested to see the rest of the side of Scottie Pippen, though, because Jerry Krause, man, oh my, I cannot play for that dude, bro. I don't know how Jordan played for him for over a decade. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens, though, y'all. I love this documentary and how they're doing it. They keep going back and forth of the early stages of Michael Jordan's career and his childhood to then the 97-98 season. So I'm really impressed with this, y'all. I want to see a lot more Dennis Rodman in episode 3 and 4, man. Episode 3 and 4 will be about the Bad Boy Pistons, is what I saw from it. But thank you guys so much for watching, y'all. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Comment down what you thought about the entire series, y'all. I thought it was amazing. Amazing, y'all. I can't wait till they do one about LeBron and the 16 Cavs in like 20 years or whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching, y'all. Stay blessed all of 2020. If you're up to this thing, comment down your favorite part of the series. And I'm out this thing, y'all. Peace.